beyond the classroom, fixed income, unlocking entrepreneurship pathways to financial freedom for lecturers before and after retirement. You own the stage, Prof. Thank you.
Can we all view the screen?
Yes, we can view it.
Also, is my audio audible? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. But
okay,
if you can hear him, you can just put a yes on the.
Okay,
on the,
I think people can hear me clearly.
Yeah.
Once again, I would like to welcome everyone to this webinar, but not just an ordinary webinar. It is a financial literacy webinar. And as rightly introduced, we have carefully worded this particular webinar as beyond the classroom and fixed income, unlocking entrepreneurial pathways to financial freedom for lecturers before and after retirement. So because this is a professional talk, so there are 7 important outlines to be discussed. First, I'm going to present what is called the opening quotes, which will provide what we can call the theological and theoretical foundation for our discourse. Secondly, I'm going to make an opening remark based on my wealth of experience that cuts across Nigeria, Europe, America. So I'm talking to reality. I'm not talking theory here. So I'm going to share the benefit of this professional talk now. Why are we discussing it now? And what are the benefits to be derived? Then I'm going to take you through 7 stages of financial freedom. Then I will now explain to you 10 entrepreneurial pathways to financial freedom, because what we are discussing essentially is how to bring lecturers, out of financial crisis into financial freedom. And I'm going to cite some models, from Nigeria. Please mute your mic. There's an intervention. Please mute your mic. Then I'm going to close with a closing quote. So let us start this conversation with this particular quotation. According to Deshpande, and who is Deshpande? He is an American entrepreneur, and not just an entrepreneur, also a social entrepreneur. He is an investor, and more importantly, is a philanthropist. He said, and I quote, "There are 3 types of people in the world, namely, people who are oblivious to everything. Number 2, people who see a problem and complain. And number 3, people who see a problem and get excited to fix it." In developing countries, including Nigeria, majority of us, I'm not excluding myself, majority of us fall within the first 2 categorization. We have more than 50% of Nigerians who are oblivious to everything. They don't care. You can see what is happening in Nigeria, whether in the academia, whether in politics. As far as they are concerned, they are oblivious of everything. Their fate is going to be decided, negatively, positively, they don't care. Number 2, most of us who call ourselves professionals, even lecturers, who teach knowledge, who teach skills, who teach what we can call abilities, majority of us will also fall within the second category. people who see a problem and complain. We go to channels, we go to Arise TV, we talk, we complain and complain and complain. We always bother ourselves with issue of what. But the world in which we live in needs people are going to tell us how. We are tired of articulating the problem. We are tired of complaining. What we want you to do is to fix it, and that is the how. So few people in the world are those who see a problem and get excited to fix it. So based on these opening quotes, I've set out clearly 3 learning outcomes. 3 learning outcomes simply means at the end of this presentation, these are the things I expect all the participants to be able to do. So this is not just a talk shop, and we are not here to tell us how to become millionaires overnight. We are not here to tell us how to invest in CBEX or Ponzi scheme or put our card in a particular ATM machine and it will start giving us money in dollars, in euros. No, that is not why we are here. Number one, what I expect at the end of this conversation is to understand, as lecturers in the universities, in the polytechnics, in the colleges of education, and even if you are not in the academia, it is still useful for you. Try to understand the limitation of fixed income in an academic career. You are a lecturer, associate professor. You think fixed income will sustain you over the bar. And recognize the importance of early financial planning for long-term security. Most of us, we have missed it, but hope is not lost. You know, financial planning should have started the day you join your Unilag, the day you join Yabatech, the day you join BUK or ABU. But most of us, we don't appreciate financial literacy seminar or training. And that is why we don't really plan on a long term for financial security. Number 2, we are also here to be sensitized as lecturers on 10 entrepreneurial pathways and income-generating opportunities that we can leverage now, that is before, and also after our retirement. Soyinka has retired, but it does not depend on anyone. He's living graciously and gracefully because his antecedents, what he has done, is fetching in millions of naira monthly, periodically, apart from the goodwill from those who believe in him, his state governor, among others. Even at 91, he's still standing firmly. He hardly used walking stick. You've seen using it in recent time, not because he cannot walk, but he needs it for support. This is a sign of what? Good living. This is a sign of well-planned, life before and after retirement. And finally, you develop practical strategies after this webinar, for leveraging your academic expertise. You are a chief lecturer. What are you using your chieftaincy title for? You are a professor. What have you professed? Since you have professed something, the industry needs what you have professed and they want to pay you. Are you reaching out to the industry? Are you reaching out to the corporate world? Are you reaching out to the community? And also in the polytechnics, we have technologists. As technologists, the world needs your patents. The world needs your research output to solve so many problems for us in our social, economic, and political life. So how can you leverage all these resources to create what is called sustainable side ventures? We all talk about US, Europe, Canada, the lecturers are doing well. Yes, they are doing well, but the reality is that in these countries too, they have what is called sustainable side ventures. Salary alone cannot sustain you. Salary alone cannot sustain you. You need money from consultancy, from your patent, from your advocacy, from your community project, portfolio, and programs. So all these are lacking, or they are in Nigeria. We are not exploring and exploiting them optimally. So my opening remark, because I'm also part of the Nigerian system, I work in Yaba Tech for more than, almost 20 years before I moved to American University, where I worked for another 3.5 years. So I know what I'm talking about. So in Nigeria's economic crisis, where a lecturer's salary barely covers basic needs, survival requires more than a paycheck. So what you get every month is not enough. It demands entrepreneurial resilience and financial literacy. So every union in the university, in the polytechnic, in the colleges of education, every year you need to organize financial literacy seminar or workshop. While unemployment, inflation, and systemic failure test our resolve, these are the things causing problem in Nigeria. Despite this problem, history has shown that crisis also breeds innovation. So we have to be innovative. We have to be innovative. Yet, many academics remain trapped in fixed mindset. Most of us will still believe in that fixed mindset. I don't think I can do it. The system in Nigeria is rigged. The system in Nigeria is been compromised. Only on ethical jobs pay. It is only when you cut corners. It is only when our salary is doubled. It's only when our salary is tripled. The reality is that whenever salary is doubled or tripled and the productive capacity of Nigeria has not been doubled, it's going to lead to inflation. At the end of the day, the increment will be meaningless. And that's exactly what we are suffering from. Therefore, with this type of mindset, we are going to miss the opportunity of building sustainable income. So this session aims to awaken in you the ability to think critically, act courageously, and build your entrepreneurial resilience and financial literacy to survive the economic climate in Nigeria. So this is my introductory remark. Then I want to do something like a social experiment. So if you have your phone, just go to your ChatGPT, ask this question, and share your answer, your findings, or your remark. Just type that, are professors rich in the US, UK, and Canada? Type it there. And just drop in few lines your findings. Either yes, no, or somehow, or modestly. I just want that before we progress. So drop it in the chat box. I want to look at them. I want ChatGPT to give you that. For our information, we are live on YouTube because this platform can only accommodate only 100 and already is oversubscribed. Now it's 97. So the system will be cutting out people, one after the other if your signal or internet is not very strong. So this is to tell you that so many people have registered for this particular conversation. So drop your answer. Are professors rich in UK, US, and Canada? The answer could be 3. Yes, no, or somehow. I've done. While this figure, yeah, okay, somebody has dropped professor in the US, UK, Canada generally earn enough to live comfortably and securely within the middle to upper middle class, but most are not considered rich in the conventional sense. Beautiful. Professor salary can vary greatly depending on factors like institution, department, experience, and location. Highest paid professor in the US, yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. They live comfortable, but not. I love that submission. So the reality is that Beyond what ChatGPT has given to you, I've been there physically, severally. I have a number of them are friends. We met, even recently, last year, this year, at conference. So I know what is going on. The reality is that lecturers in these countries, they also have additional income and what is called side hustle or side income. So government will give you salary, which of course government is giving us in Nigeria. The only difference is that infrastructure is taken care of in the US. Your university, you don't pay for your own internet. Electricity is stable. Your salary is regular, but not very big. You are able to buy what you want to buy. But in Nigeria, because of some things that I'm going to explain later on, which has systemic issues. So it's not something that affects only lecturers alone. It's going to take a long time to resolve them. So look at the consolidated academic salary of lecturers in the university, starting with the graduate assistant, then ending with the professor. Look at Professor 07. The highest paid professor is earning less than 1 million. So after tax, maybe they'll go on with 800 and something thousand or 900,000. So this is to tell you that the money, although big, because it is how many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 7 digits. In US, they don't earn 7 digits. It's usually monthly will be 4 digits. But because of inflationary trend, and that is why we are earning 7 digits. Yet, these 7 digits cannot take us home. So we are coming to that. Look at salaries of academics in Nigeria. I've converted them to US dollars. So that is this consolidated salary. I converted them to dollars. Graduate assistant is earning between 80 to 93 US dollars. Assistant lecturer 93 to 107. But painfully, look at senior lecturer 167 to 200 US dollars. And the associate professor 213 to 267 US dollars. And the professor, the Babagba, they are just earning 300 US dollars to 400 US dollars. So in terms of comparison, this is shameful because in US dollars, and we can't resolve that. It's an issue of exchange rate. But if you compare it with US, this is what their colleagues in US are earning. Associate professor, 6,700 US dollars, up to 10,000, although they are going to tax them. They don't go on with all the money. So my argument is, if you look at these figures, apart from the professor, the highest paid professors and associate professor on the extreme, who go on with a 5-digit figure, most people earn 4-digit figure. And in Nigeria, we are earning 7-digit figures. Yet, we can't live comfortably. The same thing with the military officers, police officers, the same thing with judges, the same thing with those we call the public servants, and more importantly, the doctors. And that is why you are witnessing brain drain, japa, among others. So before going to the real business, I want to tell you that if we don't fix these 4 issues, if the salary is triple, it is increased times 100, it will be meaningless because of this foundational issue. I hold, a master's in economics, so I understand macroeconomic issues. And number 1 is currency strength. If you are looking at it in terms of dollars, you are going to be disappointed. But look at the rate. Naira is free fall. It's 1,500 something plus. I just peg it at 1,500 because I check it every day. As at yesterday, it was 1,530. So if you want to compare with dollar, you you are going to be disappointed. And the real issue is currency strength. If you don't produce, if you're a consumerist nation, your currency will be weak. And you can't solve that overnight. Number two, education budget. Less than 7% of our national budget goes into education. So issue of grants and some other things, conference sponsorship, among others, honorarium, all these are not very prominent in the Nigerian academia because we have so many mouths to feed, so many priorities. So what we are generating is not enough to go around. If you increase education, defense will talk. If you reduce defense, public service will suffer. So number three, university revenue. So university, apart from what they get from government and TED fund, our own university is not robust to really make money. Most universities in US, they make money from commercialization of patent. Patent simply means the research output, the minimum viable product, the tangible, prototype that emanates from your academic research. At times you get millions of dollars from this. So, and when a university collects this, the owner of that particular patent will be paid handsomely. So some of the secrets, industrial designs that lecturers actually develop should be commercialized. So our workshop, our laboratory, they generate funds in Europe, in America, and other parts of the world. But in our own case, they don't. So these are the reasons why universities are very, very poor. And finally, inflation. Look at the 7-digit figure, yet it barely covers 20% of our needs. Whereas in US, there are $3,500, $4,500. They are able to pay their accommodation, transportation, and they will still eat good food, despite the fact that they are going home with 4-digit figures. But in our own case, we are going home with 6, 7-digit figures, but that particular figure can barely cover 20% of our needs. And as I have said, the military are grumbling, police are grumbling, judges are grumbling, lecturers are grumbling. So attempt to increase for lecturers, judges will kick. When you increase for judges, military officer will also kick. And defense is very, very important. Without defense, lecturers cannot teach. Boko Haram can kidnap lecturers and we start looking for ransom. So everybody is important. So the issue of increasing salary is a national crisis, which we need to really resolve, but it takes a very long time. But as entrepreneurial scholar, despite all these problems, we need to design a way out. So the benefit of this professional talk is to break free from mental barriers and negative mindset syndromes caused by fear, dependency, entitlement, trading blame, scarcity thinking, among others. So I'm here to do that for you. 2, I want to equip you with mastery of pathways to wealth creation, what it offers, how to get multiple streams that enable you to meet some of these challenges: financial need, family need, religious need, professional commitment. And thirdly, many of us are aging. We're in our 50s, 60s, some are already 70. Build financial security before and after retirement while maintaining professional integrity. Without stealing, without cutting corners, we can still find a way of surviving in Nigeria. And finally, assist in achieving financial goals for extended family and earn genuine respect by freeing you from dependency. So that is what we are here for. The first thing I want to tell you, which you should be told regularly in your university, polytechnic, and also universities, is that we are actually moving from period of financial crisis to financial freedom. And there are 7 stages based on research and practice. I have read it, I've practiced it, I've also taught it to professionals. And it is not rocket science, it is working. So these 7 stages is the first opening discussion. The stage where lecturers are in Nigeria currently is called financial crisis. We are all struggling with debt. We have poor savings. We lack investment. And our future retirement plan is in jeopardy. And this is promoting frustration, hopelessness, helplessness, among others. But there's a need for change. If we continue to lament, remember we have been lamenting. We lamented during Obasanjo. We are lamented during Jonathan. We lamented during Yaradua. We lamented again when Jonathan took over fully. We lamented during Buhari, and now we are not lamenting. It's a financial crisis. And when we are young, you know, I'm over 50 now, we always say, up NEPA, you know. My children are also saying the same thing now. This is to tell you that things may not quickly change. And if you don't plan your life, you are going to regret later on. Number 2, when you move from financial crisis after listening to this financial literacy webinar, you are going to move to the level of financial intelligence. You now become, you know, very learned. You acquire learning on the basics of how to manage money, how to budget, how to save. Even though the money is not much, you still be able to save. Save is a discipline. It's a commitment. And you now acquire what is called steady investing habit. You start investing. It is a discipline. Whether your money is much or not much, if you don't cultivate that particular discipline, you won't be able to do it, even if the salary is increased to 3 million. So we call that financial intelligence. If you don't move from number 1 to number 2, you get stuck. You continue to lament. And when you acquire financial intelligence, you understood the dynamics of money management. You imbibe the saving culture, the budgeting culture, the investment culture. Then you imbibe what is called financial discipline. That is applying all these smart habits to control what you earn, what you spend, what you save, and you avoid, you know, impulse buying. Things you don't need, you don't buy them. Some have old car, they buy new one, they still keep the old and the new one together. No. Why don't you dispose the old, keep only the new so that you don't fuel 2 vehicles? In some family, ideally they should live in 2-bedroom flat. They are living in 3-bedroom flat. It's part of lack of financial discipline. So you need to understand all this. And there are so many things that we'll explain later on. If you master financial discipline, then it's going to shape your knowledge of financial planning, setting clear financial goals, making actionable plans for your financial future. You know a professor earns less than 1 million monthly. So you don't plan on 1 million. You don't plan on 900,000. You plan on what you earn. And that particular planning should be disciplined. We are going to learn that later on. But some of us, we earn 500,000 and we are planning on 750. We go borrowing in January, go borrowing in February. At the end of the day, our debt becomes complicated. It is because of lack of financial planning. Yes, the country is hard. You have to plan. When you master financial planning, then you go to the level of what is called financial stability, steady income, side hustle, low debt, and an emergency fund bring peace of mind. This is where many of us should be as professionals. We should have attained financial stability if we had been taken through these particular 7 stages. At this stage, irrespective of what you are earning, you will still be able to pay your bills because you have side hustle, that is extra business that is bringing money to you either monthly, quarterly, periodically, among others. And because you have disciplined yourself from buying and doing so dear, what you don't need, you don't buy. You are going to be out of debt, you have low debt. And also you have emergency plan for everything, which is going to give you peace of mind. And when you master financial stability over a period of 5 years, then you attain what is called financial independence. Because at this stage, your investments, your passive income will cover essential living costs. In fact, they'll say, how much is on salary? When people are rushing to bank, for 2 weeks, you may not even rush to bank. Why? You have reached the level of financial independence. Because last week, you sat on the, interview panel for MTN, and they gave you 300K. This week, you probably gave a webinar for UNICEF somewhere in VI, and you are giving 500 USD. So all these are what we call passive income. Then your investments too, maybe Lotus Capital, maybe Crusader Insurance. All these people are just declaring dividend, bonus, among others. So all your investment will make you rich, and you'll be able to cover your essential cost. Then after some time, you attain financial freedom. That is full control over your money and lifestyle. Then work becomes optional. Even in Nigeria as we speak, there are so many brilliant lecturers. Some are very young, some are in their mid-year, some are very old. They are very, very comfortable. Some are architects, some are engineers. They get contract in Shell. They change their vehicle every 2 years. But you all are working in the same establishment, but they don't depend on salary in Yaba Tech or OAU or BUK. The reason is because they have attained financial freedom. So these 7 stages are very, very important. I don't mind doing it for different universities for you to learn more. It is very, very important. You must master it. I learned about this, when I was in Yaba Tech more than 17 years ago. And that's the magic. Despite the fact the money is small, I was able to put some of these things into practice, and I've taught so many people thereafter. Having understood these 7 stages, let's now go to the pathways. Number 1 pathway, for those of you who are listening or who have joined this particular conversation, number 1 that you must take very seriously is change your thoughts and your mindset. Yes, Nigeria is bad. Things are terrible. We must go on strike. No problem. I support. But we may go on strike. Our salary may or may not be increased. And we have been doing that since 1990s, 91, 1999, up till 2025, we are still doing it. So the most important, as we are doing that, let us have option B. So number 1 is change your thought and mindset. The first pathway to wealth creation for academics is reinventing thoughts by adopting a growth mindset. Liberate yourself from dangerous syndrome like dependency syndrome, laziness and entitlement. Oh, government must do everything for us. My university must do everything for me. It doesn't work like that. In terms of wealth creation, you have to reinvent. You have to change your thought. It is also vital to break free from some of the, individually constructed thoughts or socially ingrained notion like, this is incompatible with my status. I hold a PhD. I cannot, run a supermarket. Oh, I hold a PhD. I can't have a laundry shop. Who says? Or I must eat 3 times a day, 3 square meals. Who told you have to eat 3 square meals? Or as a graduate, I must live the life of an elite. No, it's not important. Or this type of footwear and attire does not befit my status. Which status? All these Oyinbo that we are talking about, go and check them. They don't spend too much money on suits, on clothes, on shoes. They look simple. But most of us want to dress to kill. We want to live in a very big apartment that we cannot afford. If you can only afford 2-bedroom flat, please go for 2 bedroom, don't go for 4. So all these are what I call change your thought and mindset. Things are very, very hard. So ponder over all this. Have you pondered on reducing spending on food, clothing, unnecessary gardening, and accommodation? Go to what we can call eateries. Go to Owambe party every weekend. You realize that there's money in Nigeria. You know, every year, look at the number of people who go on Hajj, oversubscribe. Jerusalem, oversubscribe. The money is there. That's the reality. Who mandate that you must reside in expensive 3-bedroom apartment? It's not compulsory. Who dictate that your children must attend, you know, a particular type of nursery and primary school? Most of us attended Jakonde Primary School. You know, what prevents you from engaging in a partnership business with colleagues while simultaneously working full-time? Recently, the social media showed a picture of a particular professor in the north who has a side business selling pepper. Why should a professor sell pepper? Yes, the man is living in the world of reality. He can't go begging. He can't do crowdfunding to feed his family, to pay his bill. So he's doing what is pragmatic. The only thing we advise him is to repackage, but we cannot discourage him. And that is what is called survivor venture in entrepreneurship literature. We can only advise him to repackage, you know, and to become the CEO while his student will be doing it for him. But what he's doing is doing the right thing. So that is number one. Most of us may not want to listen to this, but that's the reality. Number two, you must equip yourself with knowledge of financial literacy. Most of us, we have PhD in biochemistry, physics, but we don't understand financial literacy. Financial literacy is another pathway of having essential financial knowledge needed to make informed decisions. On that, your 1 million, 900,000, 700,000. So all the money you are making for your personal finances or family finances, you need financial literacy. And what are the components of financial literacy? Number one is money management, budgeting, savings, investing, borrowing, and planning. If you don't understand all this, you are going to have problems because you won't be able to know how to appropriate your money. Yes, it's your money, but there's a way to appropriate in order to be successful. Lecturers who earn income and spend it all, the implication is that their income equals to their consumption. And this is dangerous. This is toxic. Those who allocate income between consumption and savings, where income equals consumption plus saving is good, but we can do better. Some will get the money, salary, that is the why. They will feed their family, buy essential things and non-essential things, that is C, and they save. So whatever you save may not really be able to save you in the time of need. So let's move to number three. Those who allocate income among consumption, savings, and investment, this should be your disposition. Why is what you earn monthly, if it's 100,000, you are expected to consume part of it, which is C. You are expected to save a fraction, then you are expected to invest. So the third category, fare well in wealth creation and navigate economic downturn because they possess backup, savings, and investment. Most of us, we have leftover little amount of money as savings, but when we really need big money, the savings usually is not enough. Why? Because we don't have investment. We don't have investment. I have a friend, when I was in Nigeria, whenever he has difficulty and he needs money, he will just call his stockbrokers and say, sell these particular shares. Within 72 hours, you raise millions because he has acquired shares over time. And whenever you sell your shares, you discover that they have actually appreciated. So every year is getting dividend, and also the price at which he bought that particular share has really increased. So it's accumulating capital gain. So this is why investment is very, very important for us. Number three. So please try to get your pen and a paper because we are going to do an exercise now it is called financial security. Every 6 months and twice a year, you need to evaluate your financial security. And I will show you what you are going to evaluate. So everybody will do it. And maybe 2 or 3 persons, you just tell me your answer. I will tell you what to say. Financial security refers to the peace of mind and absence of worries about money due to the assurance that you have enough income to comfortably cover expenses, and also you are debt-free and possess deep savings to address your basic need. So this is very, very important, and you have to do it twice a year. So it is an art. Financial security is an art, and it can be learned because it's a science. It is methodical. You can do it. So when you do your financial security analysis, it's going to tell you where you stand. Are you at risk? Or are you at the borderline? Or is your financial health very positive? So everybody should get a piece of paper. So read all these questions. These questions are very, very important. You can see that they are 12 in number, and read them, then answer. If your response is yes, put 5. If your response is not fully no, if it is partial, put 2. And if it is totally no, put 0. You want to check your financial security health. For instance, are you a full-time lecturer or a part-time or an applicant? So if your answer is a full-time lecturer, put 5. If you're a part-time lecturer, put 2. If you're an applicant, it simply means you don't have a job, put 0. Is your monthly income from current employment only? Are you making your stable income? Is it stable? Is it regular from Yabate, from BUK, from ABU? If the answer is yes, put 5. But if you have a job that is not stable, maybe a part-time lecturer, then you put partial. And if you don't have a job, then put no. So do that within the next 3 to 4 minutes. You can do that. Then sum everything together. Sum your marks together. If you have 5, 5, 5, 5, it means you are going to have 60. Because 12 times 5 is 60. So whatever you score should be over 60. It could be 5 over 60, 30 over 60, 40 over 60. Don't deceive yourself. Answer it sincerely and genuinely, because this is a serious financial literacy seminar or workshop or professional talk. So whatever is your answer, drop it in the chat box. So I'm going to give you 3 to 4 minutes. Let me check my time. Okay, this is 5:59. That is in Nigeria. That it is 6 here in Brunei, and that should be 11 in Nigeria. So if you are done, just drop it. Whatever you score over 60, beautiful. 35, 40, 25. So continue to drop it. For me, so that you don't accuse me of, I have done it severally. For me, mine is around 55 over 60. When I was in Nigeria, it was 40. But now it's 55, at times 56. So I do that regularly. So that is what I need. So this is the explanation. If it is 60, excellent financial security, my advice is sustain your current financial. The way you are spending your money, your savings, your investment, it is excellent. Keep it. If you score 50, good financial security, improve your financial security somehow. Yes, 50 over 60 is good, but we normally encourage people continue to raise the bar, 51, 52, until you stay on 60, 60. If you are 40, it is modest. Modest financial security. Improve your financial security significantly. So 40 is good, but in financial literature and in financial literacy, yet is good, but try to raise it to 45, 50. Don't relent. If you're on 30, it is encouraging. We call it weak and average. Weak financial security, make radical improvement to your financial security. Then if you are 20, 10, 20 is poor financial security, change your poor financial condition. Most of our colleagues are on 20, 30, 10. Then if you're on 10, you don't have financial security at all. Replan your life. Your retirement will be difficult. When it comes to retirement, let me tell you, I retired early in the Nigerian, system. I retired at 49. And my last salary with American University was 481,000, which was bigger than the salary of a professor in Nigerian University then. Please ask me, what is my pension? I collect my pension every month, but ask me how much. So for you who think the future is secure, it's not secure. My pension monthly, which I've been drawing since 2021 when I retired, is 77,000 naira. 77,000 naira. Can you survive with 77,000 naira with PhD in retirement? So this is to tell you that you need side hustle. When you see policemen, judges, medical doctors who retire from public service who are suffering, that's the reason. Retirement is not really beautiful. You have to plan for it. And that is why I have designed this particular checklist. So you are all going to get this particular slide. So do it twice a year. So if you fail now, don't be discouraged. Just replan your life. So let's move on. So one of the ways for replanning your life, deliberately I put it at number 4, is pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Most of us, we collect our 700,000. We said, it's my money. It's not your money. It's not your money. It is when you practice this particular principle that it becomes your money. Our 700,000 belongs to so many people. We pay our wife kitchen allowance, upkeep, we pay our children's school fees, we pay for recharge card, we pay for satellite, we pay for so many things, we pay for our parents, we pay our tithes. Some of us pay our zakat to our imam, our pastor, and you forget to pay yourself. So pay yourself is very, very important. And I'm very, very happy. Even banks are promoting it now. The money you are collecting is not your own. No. House rent, you go to landlord. NEPA, we go to NEPA. Water, we go to... so most of us, we don't pay ourselves. The leftover in your bank that you call your savings is not the same thing as pay yourself. Get it right. Pay yourself is a strategic pathway to wealth creation and a mentality for building personal finance and retirement. School fees of your children that you pay to international school is not your money. It belongs to the children's school fees. Pay yourself first, PYF, is a discipline of automatically carving out a specific savings contribution every month. Come rain, come sunshine, pay yourself first. And how does it work? PYF, before paying other things, before you pay for upkeep, your wife's their allowance, pay yourself first. Before you do living expenses, discretionary purchase, pay yourself first. Pay yourself help you to build a nest egg to secure your future. And it's very, very important for emergency. When you lose your job for 6 months, you are able to raise your head high. So it's very, very important. Pay yourself for is very, very important. So if you have 2 accounts, if you have 1 account for your salary, I will advise try to open another account. So every month, when your salary is paid, start with 10%. What is some salary? What is UBA? Remove 10%. Let heaven fall. Let Ahmadiyya strike. Remove that 10%. Put it in another bank. Base your life on the remaining amount of money. And next month, you don't go back to pay yourself first. to go and spend it. No, I will tell you what to do for it. It is not the leftover in your bank account. It is your own strategic savings. You are paying yourself. I'm the one that work. Some of us, we do it, but we do it lavishly. Some, when they collect their salary, they will go to pepper soup joint. A minimum lower me. Give me 2 Gouda. Give me chicken. Give me asun. And they will blow about 30,000 naira. You are wasting your life. In fact, at that particular age, you should cut down on all those things. They are not good for your health. That 30,000 you spend every time you collect your salary, put it in maybe UBA, GTB as PYF. Do that in January, do that in February. After 6 months, look for viable investment outlets. So you are moving from savings to investment. So these are things that I've done over time. The 5th one, because of time, is what is called transition on cash flow quadrant. So if you work for government, you are simply an employee, that is E. It's good, but try to transition. Try to combine the ones that are combinable. You can work for government, then you have side hustle, that is self-employed somehow. Then later on, if you become a big guy, you can join some people. If you are a lecturer of architecture, you can have architectural firm where you get contracts from government, from establishment. Engineers, you can have a consultancy firm. Then you become business owner while lecturing in the university. I know of so many lecturers who have schools, and those schools have grown very big. Some of them are even paying themselves like 1 million monthly from their private school. That is business owner. Then if you cannot have self-employment, you cannot create a business because you are too busy, then you can become an investor. For me, I'm an investor. Right from Yaba Tech, that is where I am. Employee, then investor. So if you live only on E alone, you can't make it. You must combine E with either S or B or I, or you can even combine everything. And we call that in entrepreneurship serial entrepreneur. Your hand is in so many areas. You work for government, but you have a functioning, private organization outside. You're also self-employed and you also invest. Looking at Professor Nasir Hassan Wajini, who is selling pepper, what the prof is doing is trying to engage what is called self-employment while working. It may surprise you that pepper is very, very expensive. To run a pepper shop, some people need up to 500,000, up to 1 million. So you may be looking at him that the man doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's able to feed himself, put food on the table, and he won't be making noise. So try to, rebrand your own in a way that will give you more money. You can have cold room. You can have, laundry shop. You can have a spa. You can have gym. You can have so many things, nursery and primary school, that will bring money for you. If you don't do that, my brother, my sisters, you are wasting your time. Number 6 is to understand what is called savings for long-term investment. The pay yourself first that I told you under pathway 4, this is where it is useful. But it won't be useful until you master 2 habits. The first one is savings habit or savings culture. The second one is investment culture. You start with saving culture, saving every month, either 10% or 5%. For me, I started with 10. At a stage, I moved to 15. At a stage, I moved to 30. When I was at American University of Nigeria, I moved it to 40. That is, every month, 40% of my money will go to P, pay yourself first, PYF. Then after 3 or 6 months, I moved that money to Lotus Capital or other low-risk investment. I said low-risk investment. Rome was not built in a day. Investment culture entails directing safe funds into relatively low-risk investment opportunities. Don't go into CDS. Don't go into cryptocurrency. Go into shares, blue chips company. You buy it now, after 3 months, 7 naira, it becomes 14 naira, 27 naira, and so on and so forth. You make a lot of money, after some time. Ensuring financial security during economic crisis and sustaining prosperity, including retirement. What that means is that if you have savings alone, savings can only support you minimally for a short period. But investment, because what comes from investment is multiplier. You put in 1 million, you get 10% quarterly, or maybe every 4 months, or even in a year, from your 5 million, you are getting 10%. That is 500K. The more money you have, the more return you get. So that's the beauty of investment culture. And you can do that by starting with what? Pay yourself first. After 6 months, plug that money into a particular area. It could be shares. Another 6 months, remove that money, buy what is called government treasury bill. If you don't want to buy treasury bill, maybe you're a Muslim, you can buy sukuk. So you accumulate all this over time and you'll be getting money, The beauty of that is this particular table. We normally show this table to our students on wealth accumulation, investing on a long-term basis. For instance, look at the bottom. If you are saving 250 USD every month, and you are investing that 250 USD, after 25 years, on 4% annual rate of return, that is investment rate, the money will become 88,000 USD after 25 years. That's small money. But if you try to save like 2,000 USD every month, and you invest it on 4% annual rate of return, after 25 years, is going to give the owner 701,000 USD. So this is in dollars, but look at it in naira. Deliberately, I computed this. If you are saving 2,000 monthly, and you save that money, and you are investing it at the same time every month for 15 years, and worst case scenario, even with Lotus and some other agency, they will give you 10%, annually. So after 15 years, your 2,000 will become 828,000 naira and 40.69, thousand. If you are saving 5,000 monthly and you are investing it at the same time, a number of banks, they have those facilities. You are saving with them and you can invest that money based on certain contract. After 15 years on this particular, the money will become 900,000 in 15 years. Then with profit and everything, it becomes 2-point-something million. Then if you are saving 10,000 from your salary, after 15 years, it becomes 1.8 million. Then if you invest it with rates of returns, compounded, it's going to be 4.1 million. And if you are saving 20,000 at compounded 10% interest rate or return of investment, for those who don't take interest, we call it return. So for 15 years, you'll be able to save 3.6. And if you have invested, you are going to have this in 15 years. And if you are saving 50,000 every month and it's being invested for you in low risk investment that will give you an annual rate of 10%, after 15 years, the money becomes 9 million. But when it is invested, compounded, it gives you 20-point-something million naira. So this is not rocket science, it is reality. And there are a number of professors who are very good in buying and selling of shares. A very good example is Professor Ibidapo Obe. After some time, he was able to sit on the board of so many companies in Nigeria. It is not rocket science. He was buying shares while some of his colleagues were buying shirts. When he was investing, some of them were buying beer. They were going to buy pepper soup joint. So he accumulated so much, became so influential, he became a VC and director of so many companies. So these are areas where you can put your savings. So in future, we are going to discuss this. Another one is academic entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneurship is being taught on campus, yes. But whatever is being taught to students, lecturers should also imbibe it. So we call that academic entrepreneurship. So as lecturers, irrespective of department, you can also fix your socioeconomic and environmental challenges facing your community, your university, by solving problems, by converting your proof of concept, things you teach, your theory, into prototype. You move from prototype to minimum viable product, that is validated sample, of what the engineering invention should be. And then you get it patented and then commercialize it. So this is making money for lecturers in different parts of the world, especially those of us in IT, computer, engineering, microbiology, sciences generally. You can make a lot of money. And for those of us who are also in humanities and management, we can also commercialize some of our ideas through consultancy, among others. So most of the things we enjoy today, they are from the universities, like Google, started as a project, a PhD work of two PhD students, and it was developed in Stanford. Gestarate, a popular sport drink, originated in the United of Florida. Velcro is used for fattening, a poultry animal. It came from Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. Prozac, a widely used antidepressant for those who have depression. It was developed in Indiana University. Currently, UI is working on some things. Convener is working on some things. By the time these things are fully developed, they are going to make massive amount of money. And those professors, those researchers will be very, very rich. So let us put academic entrepreneurship into practice. Another one is consultancy. We need to consult. Globally, consultancy is a pathway for wealth creation for lecturers. And when we say consultancy, we are talking about practice of offering soft and hard values, expert advice, guidance, and unique solution to individuals, business organizations, communities, and government in various areas. Our knowledge and skills can be monetized by serving as consultant within your area of proficiency. So when we hear that professors are very rich in US, they do a lot of consultancy. For instance, a doctor called Dr. Dean Takahashi was valued at $2.6 million in 2014. So as professors, we profess so many things. So the question is, what do you profess? Are you only transferring knowledge in classroom or transforming lives? Mosquito is still in Africa. We can still develop better drugs, better insecticide, better solution, cheaper internet technology. This is where the money is. As chief lecturers, what chief responsibility do you champion beyond the classroom? Are you selling knowledge or simply occupying a title? This may look offensive, but it's a reality. I'm still very, very small in academic ladder, but even in Nigeria, when I was in Nigeria, I was getting consultancy. And when I also left Nigeria, I'm still in the area of consultancy. You make from consultancy what you cannot make in salary for 5 years. So that is why we need to take it very seriously. And also investing in small startup. Investing alongside our students, our colleagues on campus, our corporate society on campus, we can develop what is called investment club, cooperative society, and we have flourishing businesses on campus and outside campus. And that's exactly what Steve Blank is known for. He's not just teaching entrepreneurship on campus, he was creating businesses, startups with his students on campus and outside campus. And that's exactly what Dr. Banikole of Pan Atlantic University is known for. He's really an entrepreneurship educator. And now Alan is one of the deputy vice chancellor. He was not just teaching and facilitating entrepreneurship, he was creating businesses. There are so many businesses outside, Lagos Business School that Professor Bamikole is a member of the board. Why? Because of investing in small startup, 50,000 here, 100,000 there. After some time, it becomes a lot of money. A very good example is Professor Henry Samueli and his doctoral student, Henry Nicholas. He committed to launching Broadcom Corporation with $5,000. Each contributed $5,000 in 1991. That company, the company has since evolved into Fortune 50 entity, employ over 14,000 professionals, and boasting a market capitalization of $100 billion US. Steve Blank sits on the board of so many companies founded by himself and his students. So we can do the same thing, investing in startup, in bakery, pure water business, printing in Shomolu. There are so many billionaires in Shomolu, in Ladipo, who have not passed through university. These guys are making money. Who says professors cannot invest in spare parts? And we are going to do it better than our Igbo brothers. We are going to dominate the value chain in Eko. You see so many Alaja, some of them in their shop, billions of naira in selling clothes, because they deal with everyday commodities, consumables. We can do the same thing instead of complaining. And finally, let's invest our time, talent, and creativity. This is where I want to stop, and I want to provide example. Now that you are active, you are ill and active, invest your time and talent in creativity, either developing invention, creative works that will outlive you, and you're going to get residual income permanently, even when you are no more in the system. A very good example is writing books, getting royalty, among others. Because of time, let me show you some example. Professor Ibidapo Obe was a Nigerian professor of system engineering, education administrator, and former vice chancellor. Beyond that, most of us know him as that. He's a business person. Unlike many colleagues, he invested heavily in shares of several companies when they were very, very cheap. Until his death, he sat on the board of several companies in Nigeria, such as non-executive director of Zenith. He was there because he bought so much shares. Charms PLC, he was there. Prudent Zenith Life Insurance, and many others. And he was also a consultant to several corporate bodies. So he was enjoying all this, very popular, very wealthy and influential, and he became a VC. So that gave him money. He got that money from creativity, investing time, talent. Wole Soyinka invested heavily in writing books, poem and novel. Wole Soyinka is one of the greatest playwrights in Africa with net worth of $2 million US, according to New York Times. He's the first African to win Nobel Prize in 1986. And each recipient, you are going to be giving them $290,000 US. Converted to Naira, it's a lot of money. When you see Soyinka living graciously, peacefully, is able to talk without begging anybody, is because he invested time on creativity, and all these are fetching in money. The same with our Professor Chinua Achebe. He invested heavily in writing books, poems, short stories, and novels. He wrote 44 books with Things Fall Apart, the most popular, and he sold 12 million copies in 50 languages. Net worth, as at the time he died, is $1.1 million US. So that is why the man is comfortable, he's able to speak his mind, he doesn't depend on anybody. When he travels, his travel is covered by him and his associate in different parts of the world. So this is what we should be looking at. While fighting government for increment in salary, don't let us forget investing our time in creativity, because government will not save us. Most of us, we know Professor Pat Utomi is also a lecturer like us, but he's also active in 3 areas. He's active in academia, in business, industry, and politics combined. He authored books on strategy. He's on the board of Lagos Chamber of Commerce. He's on the board of Nigeria Council for Manufacture of Nigeria. He's on the board of Nigeria Employer Consult Association. His network is about 150 million US dollar, and is a professor of social and political economy, environment of business and entrepreneurship at Lagos Business School. Most politicians in Nigeria, including President Bola Ahmed, they have consulted him on political issues at different times, and it is not free. Even Peter Obi consult him on strategy. So why don't we become people like this while fighting, while struggling? And for those of us who are in Polytechnic, one of the shining stars is Kolade Oshinowo, a former chief lecturer in Yabatech. He's renowned as one of Nigeria's most esteemed artists, art educators, and mentor to emerging artists. So where I'm going, that he's retired but not tired. Most of his works are being sold every day. I just gave you just one example. Ordinary wall, frame, or what you call artifact, sold at 3.9, just one. And he has several. Go to the internet. He's retired. He look fresh, look very energetic than many of us who are even younger. Why? Because he invested his time on things that are productive. While teaching, while conducting research, he planned for his retirement. So, in concluding, look at these pictures. We all know Tony Elumelu. Look at his picture when he was struggling. That is Tony Elumelu. The man with Danshiki is Abiola. And look at these guys. Can you recognize them? You can see Dangote when he was struggling. Dangote is on the extreme here. So this is to tell you that all the rich people that you see today, at a time they were also poor. And that is why Oscar Wilde said, the only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. So don't let us look at our present predicament. Let us put all these principles into practice, and in few years, we'll be celebrating our exploit. In conclusion, all that I've said is just trash. Because according to Socrates, he said, I can't teach anybody anything. I can only make you think. So the reason why I accepted to facilitate this particular webinar is just to make us think. So it is not compulsory you accept what we have said, but at least it will make you think and come up with your own model. Thanks for your rapt attention.
Thank you very much, Prof. Mon, for the beautiful, insightful webinar. It's very, very educative. So you took your time to explain everything from the beginning till you explained it if you are teaching dummies on how to be financially free. So
it is important.
Thank you very much for sharing that much of thoughts. As you had said, that the first step to success, someone will say, is by showing up. For most of us to show up at this program, at this webinar, it means that we are all yearning, we are all planning to change our financial states. So that's the first step. Then the second step is that you also have to be aware of your state. And that is what we can see from the small exercise he asked us to do. If most of us were within 20 and 30, some less than 20 and the likes. So we all knew our states. And we knew, okay, this is where I am. And the next thing is either to work harder or and he told us that we should try and use the evaluation at least twice in a year. Then the third one is that he had said everything. But the next thing is that we all have to take action. Because at times when you hear all this, yes, that I've had it before. It's one of those things. So, but if is that action that will now, the action takers are the people that will now get the benefit of what they've listened to in this lecture. We all have to take action. That's the next thing. Little step, baby steps, later it will become something big. as he told us, you can start paying yourself with 5%, with 10%. It's just, let us just try. Me inclusive too. I'm also one of them. Because I always complain that this salary is too small, and that you know, I have a mantra that there are some salary that you cannot get savings out of it, because when your bill is more than the salary, then how can you get savings? But as he had said, it's just discipline. It's just okay. Let me just take 5%, even if it's to just join a job or use Kuda Bank. Just that 5%. Later, it can be something else. So, thank you very much again for sharing your thoughts with us. So, I know most of us, some had already asked question in the chat. Some talked about government policy, devaluing currency, and putting money in investment and the like. So, I think the floor is open for us now to ask questions, to seek clarification. So you can raise our hand and also put the question in the chat. So so I would call us as I can see us to ask our question, and our prof would help us answer it as much as he could. So for now, I have 4 hands up. So so the first person I'll call, Anjong AA. Please just ask your question. Don't bother thanking the facilitator. Just go on to your question, because we have, so I won't waste a lot of time. So Anjong AA, please, can you unmute and ask your question, please?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Bamiru. Well, mine is not a question. It's just a comment. You know, that is to salute the clients. I mean, the company, you know, that is championing this. You know, I've never met Professor Lukman, but, you know, I just want to appreciate him. You know, it's been a wonderful talk. And I can say this is, you know, an international event. And especially when you mentioned the Akado, you know, preneur, if I'm not mistaken, you know, where he did talk about paying ourselves. So I salute you. I salute the organizers. Dr. Bamiru, I also want to thank you, you know, for the moderation. You know, well done. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Abdulaziz. Okay, I would want to call on, I have someone here, ABK. So please kindly unmute yourself and yeah.
Okay, all protocols duly observed. Am I audible?
Yeah, very audible.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, Professor Lukman, thank you. I'm sorry, but I have to say thank you. I can't withstand that one for this insightful hands-on training, not just for the lecture, but it's practical in nature. There was a time I asked you a question in one of your webinars, and I truly get the answers, even though I have another question. If you remember, my answer is like, some lecturers have skills. They have been teaching entrepreneur for long, but they have not, or they are not applying their entrepreneurial skills. So now I get that answer fully and perfectly. So another question is like, you know, Nigeria is Nigeria. You see somebody that has capital and want to start a business, but sometimes the trust and honesty is, can I say, honesty is not that much among our people. I'm trying to find a way of using a statement that, but you understand what I mean. So I tried investing some of my savings when I was in Nigeria, and I failed twice, and it's because of the issue of trust. So how do we navigate through such kind of dilemma, and as well to invest in the right hand? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Prof. Lukman, please, can you just get all the questions together, then you answer?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Okay, so I would want to call on Professor Isaac Solomon Alfapol to ask you his question. You are breaking.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm not a prof, please. And so thank you very much, Prof. I really appreciate. In fact, I'm so much happy with this. And But my question is, I happen to, should I say, invest or buy share with GTB sometimes back. So since then I've been unable to track the shares and investment. I actually did it on the GTB app. So, but my question here is, please, is there a way, maybe hints or ways through which you can put us through, how we can track our investments and, due to very minimal knowledge of about investment. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Prof. Isiaq. Now, I want to call on Professor Mrs. Miriam Ngozi to unmute herself and ask a question.
Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, evening, depending where you're joining us from. Prof, thank you so much. Thank you. It's not easy to ignore saying thank you, and you baby for them. Now, Prof, my question is, now, you are making a savings at a time you have a present needs like healthcare, all the money gone. Then at the time you decided to come together, we come together about 5, we contribute our 10% at the end of the year, we decided to take the money. Now this year, we are finding it difficult to save for the fact that some people brought the option that as we are saving in one person's account, let us invest this money. About 2 people agreed, the other people didn't agree, became a problem. Even the savings, most people stopped to save. Though personally, I tried to save somewhere. So in a situation like this, how can we navigate, as in what kind of business can people, lecturers, invest as we are coming together so that we can try to do something? Nigerian economy and all that. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity and organizers too.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I want to call on Prof. Adeola Adejayan to ask his or her question. I can.
Okay, I'm a she.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Prof. My question is on consultancy. You mentioned something about having another stream of income in which you can do that by having a consultancy firm. I want to really, I need an explanation on how can you start one? How can you identify your area of proficiency and then you now start having, as becoming a consultant? How can you develop skills to become a consultant and then start one? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so Prof, there is a question in the chat. So the person asks that with a situation where a government will just wake up one day and devalue the currency, how could you encourage us to invest for a long term, like a low risk investments for 10 years or the likes? So I think you can just answer all the questions together. There is no
Okay. Because of time, let me answer the question. I will start with devaluing currency. You see, there are some things that go beyond the capacity of an individual. So if you are not an investor, you may not be competent to comment on certain issues. The current government, what they have done is to stop what we call the dual exchange rate thing, where government has a 2 rate for dollars. That allows for corruption. People will just buy at a cheaper rate and then they sell to Malam and then they bureau the change. So for those who are investing in Naira, it has nothing to do with your money. Do you understand? But for those who have also invested in dollars in something that is credible, it will only have little marginal effect, because even if exchange rate is stabilized, it pays everybody, both the investors and also those who are benefiting from that particular investment. So government policy most times on exchange rate do not really affect your investment in Nigeria in shares, treasury bill, sukuk, lotus. So I'm talking from practical standpoint. You know, I've been buying shares for a long time. So let's leave government's issue for now. Let's look at things that we can control. On consultancy for lecturers, there are two types of consultancy. You as a lecturer, hello, you as a lecturer, by virtue of what you teach HR, for instance, you can consult on recruitment. You can design training programs. Even while in Nigeria, at American University of Nigeria, we developed a training program for petroleum something, one of these
Prof. Lukman, you are muted. Lukman, you are muted.
Oh, mute, we can't hear you.
Okay. The first question is on government devaluation of currency. Devaluation of currency, if you are talking about exchange
Sorry, Prof. Yeah. We heard your response as regard that. You can just go to the next question.
Okay. Yeah. On consultancy, there are two types of consultancy where lecturers come together and create a consultancy firm. Our colleagues who are in architecture, accountancy, they are doing well in that particular area. For instance, when you talk about ICANN lesson like Pi, Standard Associate WISE, they were all created by so many lecturers in Unilag and Yabatech. Until date, those institutes, they stand out and they are making a lot of money. I've also taught there. Another one is where architects create architectural firm, engineering firm, and they employ people to work full-time while they teach in the university. The other one, you don't have to set up a consultancy firm, but you ensure that your expertise is communicated to the industry. And that is what I do. I am an entrepreneurship educator. I'm a trainer. So when you want to train people by Chamber of Commerce, Ministry of Industries, government establishment, they will call you on your personal recognition and they pay you as a consultant. You know, I've done that locally and internationally, and it's also very rewarding. So those are the two types of consultancy you can do. You teach HR, you can consult on recruitment, training, capacity building, strategic planning. You're an accountant, you can develop business plan, business model, among others. For Shell, Chevron, just make sure you work with your friends, collaborators who will introduce you to the management. So those are the two types of consultancy you can do as a lecturer. Then for those who raise money, you are saving money together, is good. But what you need to do, you register a business. Don't register as a company, just a business name is enough for the purpose of opening bank accounts and also doing some other things within the ambit of the law. Don't put money in an individual account. Then when you save that particular money, every month, meet on what to do. Do we put that money in the purchase of shares, treasury bill, sukuk, or do we look at somebody who has a business that is ongoing, maybe in farming, maybe in laundry, that we want to invest money in, or maybe in printing? For those of us who are Igbos, you may have some Igbo guys who are doing well at Alaba, Ladipo, but they need money. Then you sit down. You will put that, you give them money, they will run it and give you profit, depending on the model you are working on. I do that a lot with established business owner. But before you do that, do what is called due diligence. Call that person. What business are you doing? Let us see your account. If we give you 3 million, how do you pay us back? Is it every 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it annually? What percentage? All this matter a lot. Then you sign the necessary document. So that is how to come together and invest. It could be healthcare, it could be agriculture, it could be food. And for those of us who are in university, we can do the same thing by forming investment club, maybe in Department of Geology, create an investment club that is club of savers. Lecturers who save money, 20,000, 20 of you, every month. That is 400,000. So you can decide what to put that money on. Not in an individual account, but in the name of that investment club. Then somebody invested in GTB, you couldn't track. Go back to GTB with all the details. They will give you your money. Let me tell you, many of us, we bought shares many years ago. We lost track. Now, if you go to the website of Security and Exchange Commission and type your first name and surname, you see that you have money there. Let me give a practical example. Last week, I discovered that I don't hear anything about my investment in flour mills. And I went to that particular website, typed my name, and it brought out my name that I have shares there. And then contacted somebody in Nigeria who work in stock market. And they now linked me to my registrar. Registrar is the company that is in charge of that particular company where you bought your shares. Interestingly, the shares I bought, like 10, 15,000 naira that I lost track of, the value is now 260,000 naira. That is one, no, that is just for flour mills. So I also have Inacon. So now everything is electronic. Once you track it, they will help you track it. Your money cannot disappear. Once they track it, they now put you on a platform where you can check your performance monthly. You can request what is called investment advice every month. So for those of you who have bought shares 10, 15 years ago, your money is still in the system. And as we speak, Security and Exchange Commission, they said the money is more than 20-something billion unclaimed dividend. Unclaimed dividend. I've just given you the example of myself just last week. 260-something thousand on one shares. That is the value of my money, not NACO, just flour mills only. How can we invest in shares? Just look for stockbrokers. Stockbroker is somebody who is trained to help you buy, sell, and monitor your shares. They'll be able to guide you, buy this, don't buy this, sell now, don't sell now. The beauty of shares is that you get two income. One, dividend at the end of the month. Then when you buy 5 naira, after some years, it will appreciate maybe to 25 naira. The implication is that if you have 10,000 shares, multiplied by 25 naira, that is what you are going to get. So invest in shares, sukuk, treasury bill, and some other things. Then, for those who talk about trust, yes, before you put your money anywhere, trust is very, very important. Don't be carried away by emotion. Oh, the man is doing well. He has a fair furniture store. No. Ask him, yes, let's sit down. What is the nature of your business? How long have you been doing it? Let's see your financials. So if you put money down, what is assurance? So all this, we call it due diligence. Then you must have documents you sign. You release money through bank. Don't give people cash. Release money through bank, then keep photocopies of the check and some other things. Then you should all sign. Reason is that whenever you go into a business deal, either of the party can die. And when there are no documents, you won't be able to claim your money. We have invested in a particular investment sometimes ago, millions of naira. The man died, but the family claimed ignorance about that particular investment. So we lost our money. And more importantly, yeah, I think I've answered all the questions.
Thank you very much, Prof, for the beautiful submission and the way you answered all the questions. Just a little from my hand. Prof was telling us about making due diligence when it comes to where you want to invest. It made me remember a quote from Warren Buffett, who said that the first law of investment is you don't lose your capital. He said the second one is don't forget the first law. So anything you want to do, just make sure that that's your capital, what the money you are using to invest is very, very safe. You don't lose it. So, and that's why Prof mentioned putting money on low risk investments. Though the return might not be much, but it will be low risk. At least one can do that. Then just like an advice, I know Stanbic IPTC, they have this Stanbic Mutual Fund that one can key into. They have different investment options that one can go into to keep your money. You know your money is safe. You also have Dangote said he's going to start selling his shares. So we should just start gathering money. All those that contribute money with other colleagues. Let us prepare our money so that when Dangote sells, bring the offer out, we'll be able to also buy from the shares. Then aside that, there is this stockbroker called Sharple Ildem or something, Sharple Ildem. So they have this app called Invest Niger. So in that Invest Niger, if you have any shares, if you have shares with them, you will see them. They'll also tell you about investment and shares that are available that one can key into. Then on the final note, we all know ChatGPT. So we can also ask ChatGPT to assist us. Okay, be my strategic partner or my strategic advisor. I want to go into consultancy. I want to go into this. This is my skill. What can I do? You can ask follow-up questions. You'll be shocked that a lot of ideas one will get from ChatGPT. So once again, I want to thank Prof. Lukman for sharing his thoughts and wealth of experience with us.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sorry, you were talking about...
You are breaking. I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Dr. Bamiru, can I come in? Okay.
Hold on, Dr. Anjorin. Mr. Aruyen, you are breaking. We cannot hear you clearly.
You mentioned something as like tapping. Sir, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you mentioned something like Chapel Edel. Can you help us to spell it, or you help us to type it in the chatting box so that we can use that to search for that name to get info.
I will do that. Yeah, I'll
Thanks,
do that.
sir.
Then, yeah, thank you.
Security and Exchange Commission. Just go to the website. You see a particular place where you unidentified shares. Unidentified shares is written somewhere in the website. Just okay. What you are going to go to Google. Just type unidentified shares in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It will take you to the link straight. Then put your first name and surname and click. It's going to show shares that belongs to you. Then print that particular page, give it to your stockbroker or somebody who works with any stockbroking firm. Within 48 hours, they will fetch out all the details for you. In my own case, I thought I have only 2. I eventually discovered that I have 5. As we speak, 1 is already successful. 3 others have been discovered. And then the money will be credited. All the accumulated dividend will be sent. But the worth of my shares for just 1 was 260. And I remembered I bought those things around 15,000. Look at what it is now. It means if I had bought 1 million, I'll be talking about 20-something million naira. So that's the beauty of investing now. And that is what Professor Ibita Kobe did that made him non-executive director in so many of those companies.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prof. So I want to share my slide. Dr. Anjorin.
Okay, thank you for calling me. I just want to corroborate what Prof just said now. Prof, I must thank you, our Prof Lukman. I just followed what you said now. I'm also an alumnus of Yabatech. Some over 20 years ago, I also bought shares in Nemet Pharmaceutical and Baco. And now I just googled what you said. I went to SEC and I found 2 of my shares. I found Nemed Pharmaceutical, my name fully out. I also found out of the Baco. So I must thank you. This is a real practical training. And I can tell you, I will follow up to know the exact amount, of what I have today. So thank you, I appreciate it.
The money would have appreciated a lot. I was surprised, 260,000 on one.
In fact, it's a live report.
Congratulations, Dr. Anjorin.
Thank you.
Yeah, Professor Mikhail Abiodun. Please, 1 minute.
We appreciate the program. I like what you abundantly. But this is just a reminder. I just want to remind those of us that are much interested in the investment, please let's ensure our investment are Sharia compliant, particularly those of us that are Muslims. So cannot just invest anyhow. So let's ensure it's Sharia compliant so that will be beneficial both here and thereafter. Thank you.
Yeah, you cannot hear again, but thanks for the input. For the Muslims, it's just advising us to ensure that our investments are Sharia compliant. If you are going to buy shares, you should also buy shares in companies that are Sharia compliant. If you look at Stanbic Mutual Fund, they have different kind of investment. They have the Sharia compliant investments. They have they like 3 or 4 of them like that. They are Sharia compliant in Stanbic Mutual Fund, so that one can go into, including Sukuk. So I thank every one of us for showing up, for participating in this financial webinar, and I want to encourage every one of us to just try and take action. So let's just start by saving 5%, so even if it's 2.5%, and scale it up as things go forward, as public government accedes to our request for changing salary package. So I would want to call on the MD CEO of Client Aspire, Dr. Nurudeen Bamiru, to share any information he has with the participant, and he should also tell us how we can get the lecture recordings or even the slides. So Dr. Nurudeen, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Blakim. Thank you, Dr. Blakim. So the recorded video will be on the Client Aspire YouTube channel. So we have sent the YouTube link so that participants can subscribe. And also the slide, you are going to share the slide on the WhatsApp group. You have also shared that on the chat, on the Zoom chat forum. And then for those that are not around while we are discussing about the service that we offer at Client Aspire Limited. At Client Aspire Limited, we offer research consultancy, maybe on academic research or policy-based research. Then we also offer training for government workers on research, lecturers, postgraduate students, and the likes. Also, we can also assist your department, your university to develop their journal, and we can also manage that journal up to the point where they are going to be indexed in Scopus and Web of Science. Also, for postgraduate students and lecturers that have the intention of publishing in high-impact journals or international journals, you can assign reputable journals that are well indexed. We can recommend journals for them, and they'll be able to achieve their ambition, their career ambition. Also, we also engage in edutourism for those that want to travel out for tourism. We also engage in this, and we also engage in sales and supply of educational resources. So for those interested also in admission offer, we are also offer this opportunity also. And then also I will use this opportunity to announce our next upcoming program. By September 6th, we'll be launching an AI developed by Dr. Abubakar Siddiq from Katsina State University. This is an academic AI that can assist us to be able to synthesize problem statements, limitations, gap from multiple papers, and it's going to synthesize this and write it as a whole document for us in a very smart way. So by September 6th, we'll be launching this on our Zoom platform, and also it will be live. So we endeavor each and every one of us to also be part of the success story.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
and finally, our contact, you can we have our website, clientaspire.com, our YouTube page, Client Aspire, and then also our email and then contact details. So you can reach out to us at any point in time if you need our service. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I apologize for interjecting you. So we can just screenshot this contact detail in case you want to get through to Client Aspire. So I want to use this medium again to thank Prof. Lukman Raimi for creating time to come and share his wealth of experience with us. Also, I want to thank Client Aspire Limited for inviting me to moderate, to be a part of this mind-blowing, mind-exposing webinar, and to also moderate it. And I also want to thank the audience. You guys came and you made this program a success. We had a maximum Zoom attendance and YouTube attendance. I want to thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you again in our subsequent program. Thank you, every one of us. Thank you, and stay blessed. And I wish every one of us the best. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.